Okay, guys, so this is going to be a very unexpected video considering that, no one, and I mean no one expected this. Um, Everybody knows by now that the channel has been, going through changes, going through different schedules. The pacing and balance I'm trying to keep at a stable rate, but, no guarantees on that. And you might be wondering, like, okay, why will this video exist? And that's the case of, I feel like, within all these, everything that's new, literally, I'm talking about, like, everything since before, like, the announcement video, before Quiet Kid Quadrant, everything that came out after that, everything, the main goal is to create, I guess, an environment where we can all be, where everybody can be accepted on the channel, and like everybody can listen and appreciate each other. That's the main goal. Honestly, videos or anything involving Quiet Kid Quadrant, it was to bring everyone together that related to this stuff, or to educate other people about this stuff, so we could go and build that community that's slowly growing. But the main reason why I'm making this specific video is because, or even the series, or this epilogue series, and right now it is going to be labeled as temporary, because I don't know how many videos I'm actually going to make. Right now I only have plans for 2, and that's part 1 and part 2 of the ending of the series, but think of this as the after school special of Quiet Kid Quadrant. So within the first video of Quiet Kid Quadrant, I've left out a semi-important character. This was before high school, and it happened outside of school. We'll call her Daphne, and Daphne's grandparents live down the street from me, and she was very quiet, as like, as I guess most shy kids. Like, again, I was young. Like, we were both young. Probably about the same age, but yeah, we were young, and this was years ago. Like, we're talking, like, I don't even remember how old I was, but like maybe grade 3, grade 4-ish. But yeah, so I was definitely young, and Daphne's friends were almost like always with her, but like she wouldn't really, like, it was almost like she didn't want to be in whatever, be there regardless. But there was this whole thing that, she didn't really talk much, so her friends would communicate for her, and there was this manipulative kind of thing going on, where it was almost like the friends were forcing her to be with me, if that makes sense. And I feel like this situation can be related. You can relate to the situation if you, because primarily it happens mostly in schools. But when someone likes someone, and that their friends get them to go or talk to them, or get them into, like, however, like, the whole different factor is that she never said no, and she never said yes, which made things even more complicated. And they would just get us to hang out, but there was more to it. Like she was there was like she was forced into, like, saying stuff, and so was I. But the thing was that during this time also, like, I had my friends as well. So, like, there were some people telling them no. Like, you can't say this, you can't do this, like, go away. But then you know, the biggest problem with this is that, like, oh, well, then she has to go away. And the thing is, it's not like I didn't want her around. I did want her around. I didn't want her friends around. And I wanted to actually, you know, it was almost like I wanted to be in a friendship where, like, no one's monitoring us, right? And it was almost like they were kind of forcing something else. Like, they were completely forcing a relationship with us. I don't even remember. Like, I remember it happening, but I don't remember anything before it. But her and I kissed, and, like, when we were in, like, geez, I don't even know how young I was. But the thing was, it was in my friend's backyard, and he moved, like, that year, and then he came back, like, 5 years later. So it was really, really, really a long time ago. And like, you know, they would, like, force us to, like, you know, say we love each other and stuff like that. And you know, after all this, like, there were some times where there was the one time where I lashed out at them. I don't remember what I said, but, you know, I was definitely really crude to them. And then we never really talked after that. But, like, you know, whenever she was at her grandparents' house, like, every time I'd walk past her house, she would, like, you know, call my name through the window. And I feel like she really had nothing. There was really nothing on her end that would, like, make her, you know, hate me or anything. It was all, like, with the friends. So even if they say, oh, you know, like, she doesn't want to see you anymore or whatever, it was them saying that. It wasn't her. After all this, years later, probably like 3 or 4, she starts hanging out with my sister starts hanging out with her, which was really weird then. And this was the time I didn't really leave my street. I just stayed at my house. Very few times did I ever leave my street. But yeah, and, like, and then my sister would tell me that, like, you know, she's like, you know, she's still, like, or she asked questions, and also said, like, you know, she wants to see you or whatever. I kept saying no. And the reason, I keep thinking back to why I said no. And this was, again, I don't know, like, maybe we're in, like, grade 4 or 5. Like, my sister was definitely getting really annoying then, and I was probably not doing well in school. So around that time. But, and then afterwards, I don't even remember the last time I saw her. I remember, like, always looking for me every time I came outside. Like, she would always just stare at me. That's all I remember. After all this, I can't think of the last time anything that came after that. But now everything just kind of came back to me, and it's almost like, you know, it's not my fault that, you know, our friends were manipulative and shitty, but it's kind of my fault that, you know, I didn't say anything to her about, like, the situation. Like, you know, I never said I was uncomfortable with them there, or saying I love you and not meaning it, and never said that. Anyways, if there's a lesson to take away from this video, it's that we should not encourage people to, I guess, force other people into relationships, specifically, or if we're talking, like, you know, it's mostly school ground, but, you know, I know that some of that stuff happens with psychos. That's another thing too, but, if there's one thing to take away from another thing to take away from this is that you should speak. You should tell people how you feel within these situations, and even if it's about the person, you should just tell them. Worst they can say is no. And I'm sure you probably heard that a lot, but the worst you can do is scare them away. And what I've learned from the best is that, or what I've learned from the years is that scaring someone away is worse than them saying no. Because then they don't want to see you. if you don't mind, I would like to read a couple of my favorite lines from my probably third favorite movie of all time. Whatever you do in life will be insignificant, but it is very important that you do it, because it's a good bet nobody else will. Someone comes into your life and half of you says, "Danger, stay in your cave, you're nowhere near ready." And the other half says, "Go get her, immediately make her yours forever." These words have stood by me since I saw the movie, and it is something that everybody else should hear. It is very unfortunate that people think they can get away with taking power over others. What they don't know is that you can be stronger if you showcase your voice. They will listen. If they don't listen, then that's not on you to decide what happens.